It has begun!
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about the Shedeur Sanders fallout. Shadur Sanders finally got in a game a week later than I called. I called the Jets game. I was wrong. Instead, you put him in against the Ravens, but you had to. He was the backup quarterback. Dillon Gabriel was concussed. Judging by how he played the first, was he concussed the whole game? We didn't know it. Oh, God. Rhodes, don't do that. Look, Dillon Gabriel hadn't played great this season either. It was a disaster for Shedeur Sanders. No doubt about it. Look, fans, and we'll get to Kurt Warner and Luke McCown, both NFL quarterbacks, and people are acting like they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to backup quarterback. Well, of course they do. And I told you guys, when Shedeur Sanders was elevated to QB2, I was like, you do realize he might get 2 reps. Yeah, I mean, you realize he's going to get virtually no reps. And we found that out. We have found that out to be the case. That's how it works in the National Football League. You know? Depends on, if you got a guy like Joe Flacco that's been in the offense forever and ever and ever, yeah, he's willing to concede some reps. You want to know the actual perfect situation for Shedeur Sanders on this Browns team? It's a situation that he can't have anymore. It's Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders, where Joe Flacco knows the offense inside and out, and he can give up a third of the reps in practice to Shedeur with the first team to help him get ready. But the problem is you got another rookie quarterback in front of Shedeur who they believe needs all the reps to develop. This is, look, I believe a lot of teams should actually draft 2 quarterbacks in the draft. These teams that can't get the quarterback situation, the Browns, the Jets, Cardinals, these teams that habitually over and over can't get a quarterback right. If I was them, I'd be taking a quarterback in the first or second round, in the 5th or 6th round every year. I'd take 2 a year. Whoever can be the guy that steps up wins. 4 quarterbacks in 2 years. I'd figure it out. I like the fact that they took, but the problem is when you take one in the 3rd round, one in the 5th round, it changes everything. There is going to be a priority level based on perceived value at draft time. So Shedeur Sanders, 4 of 16, 47 yards, 2 sacks for minus 27 yards, 3 for 16 rushing the ball, and it was bad. He was hanging on to the ball too long. His rating was 13.5, and it didn't go well. All right? Now, right here, where did I see this? Ian Rappaport, he'll be ready this week with Dillon Gabriel in the protocol. Okay, so Dillon Gabriel is in the protocol. Very likely Shedeur Sanders will get the starting reps this week because you almost never see a quarterback that went into concussion protocol the very next week start the game. You almost don't see that. So Shedeur Sanders had a message to fans.
I'm extremely thankful. Well, first let me say this. When Dillon out there playing and all that, I appreciate the fans, I appreciate everybody, but it don't really, I'm a good person overall, so I don't really like him not feeling comfortable, confident, when he get out there. So, it puts everything in a tough spot, and it's not helping the team, so that could be taken as, okay, I'm being a distraction, even though I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that, but I'm thankful for the supporters, thankful for the fans, thankful for everybody out there, that believes. And yeah, when I got out there, I definitely felt them. And, I'm truly thankful for it. And yeah, I'm just thankful that I'm out here. I'm thankful for the opportunity, thankful for seeing all them 12 jerseys out there. And it was a great feeling.
He seems like a good kid. I don't love the glamour and the glitz and the flashiness, and I guarantee you one of his issues is NFL coaches absolutely hate that kind of thing in a quarterback. I'm just being real with you. They can't stand it. And they certainly don't like it with a backup quarterback. But he said, when Dillon's out there playing, I appreciate fans cheering for me, but I'm a good person, so I really don't like him not feeling comfortable and confident. It puts everything in a tough spot. It's not helping the team. It's a good message, but Dillon Gabriel got to have thicker skin than that too, because the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy in town if you ain't got a very good starter. So it is what it is. All right. This was his teammate from Colorado coming over and checking on Shadur after the game. That's pretty cool. That's a good moment. And I don't think there's any question that Shadur wants to win games. I don't think that can be questioned. Kevin Stefanski confirmed that the second half of today's game was Shadur Sanders' first snaps with the starting offense since he was drafted by the Browns. Everybody is losing their minds over this, and I don't know why. It's like if you are losing your minds over this, you don't know how it works on an NFL team. You do not. If you were expecting him to get a third split or something like that, no. It's generally speaking not going to happen. Fireable offense. How can your backup, who is one snap away anytime from playing, get a single snap with the first team and competence at its finest? Okay, well, you don't know what's going on because Kurt Warner said, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Luke McCown said, yeah, that's exactly how it is. By the way, they both spent times as backups in the league. One of them is a Hall of Famer. But Kurt Warner went through a period with the Giants. He backed up Eli Manning, and then he backed up, I believe it was Matt Leinart, with the Arizona Cardinals. Everywhere I was, the backup rarely gets number one reps. I wanted all the reps when I was the number one, and if the backup got any, it was a couple at the end of different periods. Luke McCown, fourth-round pick, journeyman backup. I think there's a massive misunderstanding of how the NFL practice is structured. Only mid-round pick rookies and backups get meaningful reps in training camp. They are never with the ones unless you are competing or starting that next preseason game. So unless you are up to start the next game, you're not getting no reps. You're not getting no reps. And he goes on to break this down. We had a guy down here. I read this, and him and Luke McCown actually went back and forth. It is wild that we have people telling guys, and they're doing it with Kurt Warner, 10 franchises. And fans and just dudes are telling two NFL quarterbacks they don't know what they're talking about, or that's not how it should be. Come on, guy. I mean, look, that's just common knowledge. I didn't know. I mean, I guess if you're a common fan, you don't, just a general common fan, you don't know that. But this is not unusual at all, in the least. Not unusual. But that also tells you this was not considered a competition. As far as the Browns were concerned, Dillon Gabriel and Shadur Sanders isn't in a competition. The job was Dillon Gabriel's, which I'm sure even makes more people cringe because he hasn't been good. But that is a clear-cut statement from the Browns saying Dillon Gabriel's the starting quarterback, period. End of story. I still think there's a world where Shadur Sanders ends up with the Dallas Cowboys at some point. I would just continue, and that's because of the prime time and Jerry Jones dynamic there. I could see that. Now, they got Joe Milton, and what I will tell you is I watched Joe Milton with the Patriots last year as a rookie. He was a 6th-round pick. He looked a lot better than Shadur has looked with the Patriots as a 6th-round pick. But he looked poor with the Cowboys at first this year, and then Joe Milton looked a lot better. It's a good thing Dak is playing well, or Cowboys fans would be like, can we see what Joe Milton's got? But Dak's been a killer this year. This is going to get interesting. Fans are mad. They're angry. They think the no first-team reps thing is a story. It's not. It's not a story. It's common. It's common. So that's not. No reps as a backup is not racist, by the way. Okay, because you could have 3 white boys all on a team. Guess what? 2 of them 3 white boys ain't getting no damn reps either. I'm just keeping it real because I know this has become racial for a lot of people, and I don't get that either. I mean, people think I don't like Shadur. The kid come in yesterday, I'm rooting my ass off for him. You know? I'm rooting my ass off for him. But I'm also not going to be dumb about it. You know? I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, 45 years of the NFL, just what I know out the window because one guy. No, I'm not doing that. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.